Well, hello, boys and girls. I'm excited about you learning how to play the trumpet, and I've created a video for you that you can look at home after you've had your first lesson, and you can review this, and I will show you again on the video many of the things that we talked about at your first lesson. If you recall, we made a sound on just the mouthpiece at our first lesson. When I make a buzzing sound on my mouthpiece, I take a nice big breath. I might wet my lips a little bit so they buzz a little more easily. I take a big breath, and I buzz my lips. You can see that I really firm up the muscles around my mouth when I do this. My dimples pop out. I'm really trying to activate the strength around my mouth as I do this. Not too much, but you don't want to be soft in the face as you try and blow. We don't want to puff our cheeks. We don't want our lips to push the mouthpiece away. We don't want that to happen. So a nice firm mouth, firm corners, big breath. Place the mouthpiece evenly on the mouth or slightly low. Notice I breathe from the corners of my mouth and buzz into the mouthpiece. And you want to do this several times before you try and play on the trumpet itself. It'll certainly make getting a good sound out of the instrument a lot better. Do that again. Make another sound on your mouthpiece with me. Here we go. Mouthpiece on lips. Breathe from the corners of the mouth. And try and go for a high-pitched sound. That'll help you play your high notes a little more easily. When we put the mouthpiece in the receiver of the trumpet, into the lead pipe of the trumpet, we want to just slip it in and give it a little push, a tiny bit of a twist, and that's it. And it will, when you go to remove it, it will have a little bit of resistance, and that's what you want. If you put it in and you hit it, or you bang it against something, it can get stuck. And if you can't get it out with your strength of your hand, then get an adult or one of your older brothers or sisters to see if they can twist it out. If the strongest person in your house can't remove that mouthpiece, do not use pliers. Do not use any tool on it. If you do, you'll gouge the mouthpiece. You'll scrape all that nice silver plating off the mouthpiece, and it will still be stuck. So bring it to school. I have a special tool that I will even show you guys at one of these lessons one of these days. I'll show you how to remove the mouthpiece using a mouthpiece puller. It's a $50 tool. You don't need to buy one, but if it gets stuck and you can't get it out and the strongest person in your house can't get the mouthpiece out of the trumpet, leave it in. Bring the trumpet to school. You might have to bring it separate from the case. Be very careful transporting it like that. Bring it to me and I will remove it for you. You can still practice on it at home even if the mouthpiece is stuck, right? Okay, pardon me. Let's talk about how we hold the trumpet. So I'm going to hold my trumpet up here. Don't worry about what I'm doing here. I'm just holding it up like this to show you how the left hand holds the trumpet. So you can see here's the mouthpiece end of the trumpet. My thumb goes in here in this thumb saddle or thumb rest. Your trumpet might not have one, but nevertheless, here's your three valves, your first valve, second valve, and third valve. The thumb goes on the side of the trumpet that's closest to the mouthpiece. This is my left hand, see the letter L? My thumb, and then these fingers all go to the other side of the valves, and you'll notice that my ring finger goes into the trigger ring on the third valve slide. We'll talk about what that's for later, but for now, you just want to get your fingers in there to hold the weight of the instrument. The left hand pretty much holds the weight of the trumpet. And now my right hand. My thumb goes between the first and second valve casing, and then my first finger, second finger, third finger come down on the valves. right? First, second, third valve. And then my pinky can go on the pinky ring or in the pinky ring. Most of the time when I play, my pinky is just kind of floating in the air, whatever works best for you. Just, obviously we're not looking to jam the trumpet up into our face extra hard by hooking that pinky in there. And the pinky doesn't hold the weight of the instrument either. It's just there for balance. It gives the pinky something to do. All the other fingers have a job. They want a job too. Okay, so we know how to hold the instrument. We know that our tuning slide, the main tuning slide on the trumpet, should be out about 3/4 of an inch. If it's all the way in, your trumpet isn't playing in tune. It's not designed to play in tune when that slide is all the way in. It should be out about that far. Cool. All right. So let's review the notes that we learned at our first lesson. The first note that I had you play was in exercise 5. That was our E. And of course the fingering was first valve and second valve. It was the lowest pitch of the 3 notes that we played. It's on the bottom line of the music staff. If you look at exercise 5, you can see that that E is on the bottom line of the 5 lines of the staff. So my first and second valve is down. I'm standing nice and straight or sitting up nice and straight. My trumpet doesn't have to be perfectly level, but it should be up in here someplace that feels right. And I'm going to put my lips together, maybe wet them a little bit, mouthpiece on the mouth, breathe from the corners of my mouth. And there's our E. And the book says to play the note and then rest for a few seconds and then play it again. Okay, we've rested. Let's play another E. Great. And you can pause the camera right now and practice more E's if you would like. That is, pause the video and practice more E's. And then when you're ready, we can go on one note higher to the note F. Okay, so let's look at F. It's the next note up from E. The E is on the bottom line. The F is in the space just above the E. It's between the bottom 2 lines of the music staff. And F is played with the first valve down, and it's a little bit higher in pitch than the E that we were just playing. Let's play it. Good. Let's play that note again. Here's our F. Okay? And again, you can pause your video and practice more F's if you would like. And then we can move on to exercise number 1, where we had the G, our highest note. Well, welcome back, and let's now play our G. And the G is on the second line up from the bottom of the music staff. And it's played with no valves down. It's open. And that can be a hard note for young trumpet players to make it up to, but you can do it. Remember to make your face strong. You can use a little pressure against your mouth, pardon me, and use plenty of air. So I'm going to take a real big breath, and I'm going to work hard to get that G to come out. Ready? Let's try that again. Big breath. All right, and you'll get it. And the more times you successfully play a G, the easier they will become to play. So let's review the 3 notes that we just played. We had our E, F, and G. So you can hear how close those notes are in pitch to each other, right? They're just one step away from each other. All right, let's look at exercise 2 called Count and Play. And in Count and Play, we're playing quarter notes. These are one-beat notes, and there are 4 of them. 4 quarters make a dollar, right? 4 quarter notes make a whole measure of music. Each quarter note is worth 1 beat, so there are 4 beats in the first measure of this exercise. And then in the next measure, we have 4 squiggly lines, and those squiggly lines are quarter rests. They are 1-beat rests. So we'll play 4 notes, we'll rest 4 beats. We'll play 4 notes, we'll rest 4 beats. Let's try it. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest, 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 rest. Rest, 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 rest. See how we're keeping a nice steady beat as we do that? Let's do it again. 1, 2, 4 G's, play. Rest, 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 rest. Rest, 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 rest. Good. Hey, if you want, pause your video, practice that 1 or 2 more times, and then start it back up, and we'll go on in the book. So, let's review the note that we played in exercise 3. Here's our F, first valve. Let's do that again. All right. Now let's look at exercise 4, two's a team. In two's a team, we play 4 Fs, we rest 4 beats, and then we play 4 Gs. Let's try it. Let's put our first valve down, play 4 Fs. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest, rest, now 4 Gs. Rest, 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 rest. Good. Let's do it again. 4 Fs and then 4 Gs. 1, 2, ready. Rest, 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 rest. Good. It's a pretty easy exercise. Good job. And let's review our E that we learned in exercise 5, first and second valve. Just a real quick review of those 3 notes. Here's the G, F, E. Do that with me. Ready? Here's our G, F, E. All right. So these first 5 exercises are really important for this first week of practicing. Make sure that you understand the difference between these notes. We have, I'll bring the book in here. This is actually a clarinet book because I couldn't find a trumpet book to use to make this video. We have the G on the second line of the music staff, the F in the space below the G, and then the E on the bottom line of the staff. Make sure that you can identify those notes as to where they are on the staff, because we're not always going to have the names of the notes written inside the notes, so we have to memorize them. It's easy. All you have to do is play. Play your instrument every night, you'll do great. 15-20 minutes, you'll do fantastic. Let's look at number 6, moving on up. Here we have 5 E's in a row. Are you looking at it? In your band book, exercise 6, 5 E's, and then 3 beats of rest. And then we go E, E, F, F, G. That'll be interesting, won't it? So I'll demonstrate exercise 6. It begins with 5 E's. Rest, rest, rest. Rest, rest, rest. It's obviously the second half of this exercise that is challenging. So let's look at that. We have E, E, F, F, G. Do that with me. Finger your E. Look at your music. E, E, F, F, G. Let's play that part of the song. E, E, F, F, G. 1, 2, ready, go. And obviously, this is an exercise that you'll have to spend some time on to get good at playing that last sequence of notes. Now let's take a sneak preview at the next page, just looking at the next 2 notes that we're going to learn. They're actually easier notes to play than, especially the G, the first note that we learned, because the G was kind of high, wasn't it? So here's our D. And if you look at the top of page 5, the D is under the line for the note E, right? Look at the E at the bottom of page 6. I'm sorry, at the bottom of page 4. And now look at the D on page 5. And it hangs below the line where we find the note E. And look at your fingering chart, and you can see that the fingering chart next to the letter D shows you to put your first valve and third valve down. And this note is printed lower than the E, so it's going to sound a little bit lower than an E. Here's our D. Now I can relax as I play these lower notes. I don't need as much strength around my mouth and in my face to play the lower notes. Here's our D again. Play a D with me. Here we go. First and third valve. Ready. Play. And let's do that again. Here's our D. All right, good job. And now let's just skip to exercise 9 called touchdown and look at the low C. And the C is 1 note lower than the D. And it has a little line going through it. We call that a ledger line. That just helps us identify exactly, where that C is by that little line that goes through it. And the fingering for your C, you'll notice, is the same fingering as the fingering for your G. So your G was open, and it was up high, and now we're playing a C, open valved also, but low. Here's our C. And that should be a pretty easy note for you to play. And let's play that again. All right. One more time. Here's our low C. Ready. And again. Good. Let's review our notes. I want you to look at exercise 9, touchdown. We'll play a C together. Ready? Now look at exercise 7, the long haul. Finger your first and third valve, and let's play a D. Go to exercise 5, heading down over on page 4. Finger your E, first and second valve. Ready? E. Go up to exercise 3, first valve, F. And then exercise 1, here's our G. All right. So there's the 5 notes that we learn in the first couple weeks of playing our instrument. And there's two things that we're really trying to do here. We're trying to train the muscles around our mouth and our lips to learn how to make a nice sound on the instrument. The other thing that we're doing is learning how to read music. And of those two things, the reading of the music is much more difficult than playing and getting a sound out of the instrument. But we have to do both. We have to do them both at the same time in order to get good at it. And the faster and sooner you get good at identifying the notes in your band book, the better player you will be. And everybody wants to get as good as they can as quickly as they can, because the better you can read music and the nicer your sound is on the instrument, well, the more fun it is to play. Absolutely. So, work every night. Refer back to this video if you need to. Share it with your parents. And I'll see you next week at your next lesson. And we'll review all these notes and we'll move ahead a little bit. And we'll learn a couple more exercises. And we're on our way to having a lot of fun playing the trumpet. Great job, guys. I'll see you next week.